Hey guys, it's Jennifer Don Gabiola, and I wanted to hop on today and share a topic that feels timely and definitely inspired. So I titled this live, What's the Word for 2020? So the purpose of this, I just really wanted to help you reflect on your year, this year, and then also get excited and feel into what 2020 could be like for you, especially with your business. But first, I wanted to share, as you know, I always like to start off with sharing what I feel inspired to wear. So I wanted to share this with you. Look at this number. It's a belt. Can you see? So cute. Oh my gosh. This, and it even has like a teal lining, this jacket. Okay, guess this vintage jacket I found recently at a resale shop. It was $5. Five freaking dollars. And I don't know if you can see, but it has this like texture, this sort of like ruching, pleated sort of texture. It's very avant-garde, which I feel like really speaks to like my essence. There's a very unexpected avant-garde side to me that I love expressing that side, a bolder side, through my style. As I've mentioned, style is has always been a sacred practice for me to express like my spirit from the inside out. So that's why I always like to share what I'm wearing, because it really helps to express like how I'm feeling in the moment. So I hope that gives you some inspiration to start off our live today. But the topic is, what's the word for 2020? So for those of you, I'm sure you all know, but I just wanted to start off talking about what is a word of the year. I started using this tool several years ago, but I found it to be really helpful to really have a guide as to how to navigate creating like your year. And so this word of the year is like a word that feels inspired to you. And again, you use it as a guide to help you feel your way forward. Like this word captures a feeling that feels inspiring for you. And then it's a guide for you to help you make deliberate choices that feel aligned with that word, right? And I find that for my business, it's been really helpful to have that word as a guide to help me decide on what opportunities to say yes to, what clients to take on, what projects, what new goals to set, because I'm tuning into myself and feeling into what is my next right step. Does it feel like what that higher theme that word represents for me? So that's what we'll be talking about today. So I thought to start off with, I wanted to share what my word of the year for 2019 was, and really reflect on like what I learned in my biggest wins to help you really think about how, what you've accomplished this past year. So my word for 2019 was renewal. I've shared that several times here in our group, our Quiet Voice Big Impact community. And renewal, I never really strategically choose a word. I kind of like allow the word to come to me and feel into like what feels most alive. And the word renewal came to me at the beginning of this year, and it felt really light. Like the idea of renewal felt like fresh, a fresh change. Definitely a change, transition. So what I've learned looking back at this past year is that renewal, although I was focused a lot on the positive change, in order to move from one state to another, right, to renew, you have to let go of the old. So that process of letting go was challenging and painful at times. And it started off with my unexpected kitchen remodel because of pipe burst. And then I had some other things happen this year. I had mentioned in a post recently, like dealing with chronic illness, like my ankle has been, you know, bothering me, and just some other things, other challenges that I feel what I've learned this year, a big thing, I would call this like major wins for me, is to really look at uh, objectively and in a loving way, what was it that is no longer serving me? And look at that and be willing to like let that go. So for me, seeing all the things that I was trying to cling on to, um, control is a big one. Assuming that I knew what the best solution was, just staying in my ego, just trying to like figure things out and hold on and grasp and cling to things, and just try to keep doing things how I normally would do things. I was presented with many, many challenges and opportunities this year to let go and allow myself to learn a new way of being, a new way of operating, a new way of engaging with life, which was, again, challenging, at times painful, but it really helped me to start to see myself in a different way and to feel less isolated, get less out of my head and into my heart, and trust, really, to trust and deepen my faith. Deepen my faith that I'm a part of something beautiful. I'm a part of something greater than me, which, I've continued to work on that my entire life. But this year, with the theme of renewal, definitely like it's laying it down a really strong foundation for me into the new year. So, again, like it's really hard to capture into words like the challenges that I experienced this year, but I'll say this, and for anyone that's going through challenges right now, because I've talked with a lot of people that 2019 was full of like challenges. Even though you may not understand why something is happening, it may be outside of your plan. Things may be at a standstill, or just you're dealing with some sort of challenge outcome you're not expecting. What's helped me is to just allow myself to ask for grace and give myself grace. Ask for me, I pray and ask for grace to help me receive what it is I meant to receive from this experience. And sitting with that and having the patience to receive it, and then humbling myself to actually receive it, has definitely helped me to cultivate like a stronger sense of self-awareness for me, where I feel even more of myself, but I had to shed so many layers in order for me to even get to this place. So it's not super easy, but it is possible, and I'm a testimony to that. So if you're going through any sort of difficulties, just know that life is definitely working for you, even if you don't understand it. Just keep trusting that life is definitely for you, and things are not happening to you, they're happening for you. But I understand, believe me, I understand. That's the reason why I want to be vulnerable and transparent about what I've been going through, is because I'm naturally a very optimistic person, but I also go through my own things, and it's not always easy, but I always make a choice. That was something I learned this year. It's like I have the power to put weight on my own choices, and my choices matter. And I don't have to keep replaying the past, especially old childhood wounds and traumas from the past. Like I don't have to keep recreating that. I have a conscious decision. I can make a conscious decision and choice to do something different now that serves me now. That way, that has a positive impact on my future. It takes practice, but it is possible. Which leads me to my word of the year for 2020. It came kind of early. Normally it comes around end of December, but the word that is really feels alive for me is thrive. Now, the word thrive for me, it's like operating from a sense of like fullness, thriving in my health, thriving in my relationships, thriving in my business, thriving in my self-love, thriving in my just daily life, just living life from a place of like overflow and fullness, and feeling deeply supported, and really letting go of that old story of I have to perform, I have to do certain things to feel worthy, I have to do all these things. It's more like embracing just the being and allowing more ease. I felt like 2019 was about letting go of a lot, and this year was about next year is more about letting in, expanding my capacity to receive, allowing myself to receive. That's actually something I've been working on lately. Is God gave me this affirmation to really reflect on, is that because I know I'm a very generous, giving person. So God was saying, like, you are a master at giving. So reflect on this mantra. Okay, I am a master at receiving. Because I think sometimes as women, especially, it's kind of, we feel guilty for receiving. We don't want too much. But I really feel like, the word thrive is about, it's a reciprocal, fluid exchange of energy and value, right? As you give, you're meant to receive. It's not only just one way. And I feel like that's what I feel led and I'm excited about in 2020 is this idea of thriving. Thriving not by my own will, but thriving by allowing myself to be a part of something greater than me, allowing myself to be led. For me, it means to be led by God, to have that deep level of humility and trust and patience. This year was so much about patience for me, and I tended to be a very impatient person. I just like want to get things done fast, but again, it was rooted on this performance sort of way of being, and I feel like the big messages I'm getting this year as I enter 2020 is just to relax, enjoy, be curious, take a lighter approach to life, and to trust that I'm a co-creator with life. I'm a co-creator with God. I'm not separate. I'm not trying to like prove. I'm not trying to perform. I am an integral part of life. I am already worthy. My worthiness is not up for negotiation. And I feel like that in itself, I feel like taking away the worthiness part of how I see myself in relation to my results or anything like that. Like it's an ongoing process, but the fact that I feel more detached from that and more open to seeing myself the way God does, seeing my situation the way He does, it's miraculous, and that's what I want to reflect to you. That pick a word. Well, first of all, think of what the past year, even if it was filled with a lot of challenges, think of what things, some wins, because there are wins there. So really reflect on that and give yourself credit that you're doing the best that you can. And then also share, really think about what word really captures the feeling of what you want to experience in 2020, right? And just let that come to you. You don't have to force it. But I'd love for you to share that when you do have those insights, share it on video, because there's a power to speaking out loud. They say speak it into existence. Speak your wins out loud. Allow us to witness you and to celebrate you on video here in our group. And then when you have clarity on your word, share that word and what it means to you, why that word, right? Because regardless of what again, I feel this collectively. I've talked with a lot of people. The past few years, especially this year, has been a lot about shedding and healing, right? So the energy that I'm sensing for 2020 feels more expansive and light. It's like we'll be reaping the rewards, the benefits of all the hard work we've been doing so far. And we're doing it together. We're meant to rise together. So definitely share your videos. I'd love to see them in our group. And I'd love to share, just to leave you with some inspiration. I've mentioned to you before that I started off my business putting my poetry on t-shirts, and that evolved to really, because my poetry is so much about empowering women, it evolved to really empowering women in their business, especially introverts. So, but there's this poem that is my favorite poem I've ever written. It feels like this universal mantra. And I'll tell you this, I've been actually saying it more to myself lately. It feels more alive for me more than ever. And I hope that it also resonates with you now, especially as you enter 2020. So I wanted to share it with you, and I hope it resonates with you. I am. I am flourishing. I am thriving. I am expanding. I am advancing. I am. I am here nor there. I am everywhere, pervading, sustaining, my thoughts formulating into an infinite state of my own creating. Oh, I get goosebumps every time I say that poem. But again, it feels so much more alive for me now more than ever. I've always resonated with those words. It just came to me like I felt like a channel. It just came to me. But knowing what I've gone through, especially the past couple of years, been a lot of challenges, and knowing like how much I've grown and allowed myself to be supported and really allowed myself to cultivate a stronger relationship to a power greater than me. Again, for me, it's God. Like that has been the game changer for me to shift from this old way of feeling isolated and willing my way, proving my way through life. And now, as I'm entering into this new season, I feel like God is ushering me into a new season of ease and joy and playfulness and curiosity, in the spirit of service. And I'm sensing that He wants me to fully enjoy expressing myself, expressing the essence of who I am, because that in itself is an act of service. So I want to reflect that to you, that look back at your year with a sense of pride and give yourself grace if you're going through challenges, and know that you're doing the best that you can. And then feel and take some time. Take some time, especially as an introvert. Take some quiet time and feel into a word that feels resonant and alive for you as you enter 2020. And definitely share that, again, your insights on a video, a Facebook Live, in our Quiet Voice Big Impact community, our Facebook group. I'd love to hear it. And if you need help, really, if you have a word in mind, but you don't really know how to actually activate that into practical steps, I invite you to schedule a complimentary discovery call with me. One of the many gifts God gave me is I can take a really big sort of general goal, concept, vision, and really activate that into practical steps to make it real, create a strategy to actually break it down in a way where it becomes real. And yeah, it's been really beneficial for me being in business for over 9 years. So I always talk about the turtle way. It's really about getting really attuned and aligned with yourself, resting when you need, but also taking action in a deliberate, consistent way. And so it's really important that you really get really clear on how you want to feel, what you envision for your life and your business going into 2020, and then claim that for yourself, and to know that you're not meant to create success on your own. Allow your journey to be easier. Allow your journey to be more fun and supportive. Allow yourself to receive success faster than you could have done by yourself. So I invite you to, if you want to schedule a complimentary discovery call, you can email me at info@dawningsoul.com or send me a private message. I hope this has been helpful. I always enjoy coming on here and offering you some inspiration. And let me know what your biggest takeaways are, and I look forward to talking with you soon. Bye, guys.